So let's talk arguably the most difficult street photography point of view on this channel to date, so that you don't want to miss what I have to say. Or maybe you do, because what I have to say isn't that interesting. Back after this. So Southbank is an interesting one. It's really long, there's lots of tourists doing touristy things. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can catch non-tourist people doing non-touristy things in an interesting fashion, and it makes for a good photograph. The entire first half of this POV session was actually a exercise in futility to an extent. It was very samey, very long drawn out. I wasn't getting great photos, and this is the first POV session where I had to almost stop at the halfway point and say, take a breather. What can I do differently so that this session doesn't end up a steaming pile of garbage? I got out of the tourist lanes, and what I did was head up into some of the more brutalist style architecture that dominates the Southbank. And in those kind of buildings, what you can find is lots of little nooks and crannies, places where dark shadows conflict with bright sunshine because of the angles of the buildings, and they can make for some really, really beautiful setups if you can populate them with something quite interesting. There were a few points in this POV session where it seemed then like it started to come together after all the tourist stuff was out of the way. You have the girl that's sitting on the yellow stairs. And this one was quite interesting because the POVs are always done in black and white. I definitely favor black and white photography, and I will very, very rarely stick an image into color. And it just doesn't really fit for the POVs. But have a look at this color in black and white versus yellow. Let me know in the comments below what you prefer. And maybe, just maybe, we'll change some of the POVs going forward. This one's quite a lovely, candid image. Girl's just out there having a smoke, but it's the color that really does it for me, and obviously the harsh shadows too. So from that staircase, you sort of spiral upwards into a more open, exposed plaza area, where I noticed this zigzaggy staircase just opposite me. That there were loads of tourists just kind of making their way up and down the staircase. And to me, from way back from that wide angle, it just felt like little ants making their way up and down, and there was something actually really quite beautiful about it. So what I did was just rest my camera on the railing and just snap, snap, snap. And ended up again with one of those images that I really like, where you've got lots of little stories happening within this larger tableau. That was probably one of my favorite images of the day. There was another image that I really liked that I took sort of looking down over a little picnic area, where the stark shadows sort of met up against that 12 noon sunlight, which was so harsh and so wide and so overbearing, and sort of sliced the image in two. It helped that I had a couple of really interesting characters down there, one of whom actually looked up and gave me a big, bright, beaming smile. So that's kind of fun to kind of zoom in and have a little look at. But the real star of the show was actually one of the final photographs that I took on the day. And it was leaning over the railing of the BFI, looking down at this singular female figure leaning up against a railing, looking in on a crowd from the outside. It's a really beautiful and really stark image that almost makes the central figure feel and look a little bit lonely and a little bit isolated. There's something actually really quite beautiful about that. And that, I think, was the highlight of the day for me. It just so happened it came really, really near the end of the day too. But it was worth staying out there, and it was worth persevering, and it was worth doing something different to get that photo. It's just a reminder that I'm putting together these POVs, and I've got that finite amount of time before my batteries run out. But you, as a street photographer or as a photography aficionado, if you're watching this channel, don't be afraid to mix it up every now and again. If something's not working, get off the beaten track and try something else. I think it was, I'm gonna butcher this quote, but somebody said insanity was doing the same thing every time and expecting different results. And I think that's it for this week. We've got a new POV goes live on Monday night, and it's the first in a new wave where the technical craft just skyrockets. So you don't want to miss that one. Check it out. Do let me know what you think about it. In terms of this video, hit like if you liked it, obviously. Hit subscribe if you're here for the first time, and don't forget to leave a little comment down in the comments section. The good, the bad and the ugly doesn't really bother me. I want to hear what you guys think about this. I'm looking for ways to make it better right now, so do let me know. So until Monday's POV session, have a great weekend, and don't forget to get out there and hit the streets. Exposed plaza area. I can't speak. Area. I can't say area. So I stood back, I rested, and don't forget to leave a comment down in the YouTube comments. Of course we're on YouTube.